It's bedtime, and your knees know it. Not because they're ready to rest, but because they've been aching since noon. You ease into your favorite chair, hoping a little stillness will help. But instead of relief, you're greeted by that familiar, heavy throb behind the kneecap. And tomorrow, you already know how that's going to feel. That first step out of bed, that wince as you try to straighten your legs, the way you have to brace yourself on the wall just to get moving. You didn't injure anything. You didn't fall. You just lived another day in your own home. And somehow, that was enough to trigger pain. But here's the question no one's really answered. Does it have to be this way? Is pain really just the price of getting older? Or have we missed something? Something quiet, natural, and overlooked? You've probably tried stretching. Maybe even arthritis creams or anti-inflammatories. Some help a little. Most don't. But what if, before you go to sleep tonight, you could do one small thing that changes how your knees feel in the morning? I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about science. A simple blend of warmth, touch, and time, applied gently, right before bed, that works with your body while you rest. No pills, no prescriptions, just a cloth, a few drops of the right oil, and a deeper understanding of how nighttime healing actually works. The truth is, there's a reason your knees hurt more at night, and a reason why this routine helps quiet the pain before it ever reaches your brain. In just a moment, I'll walk you through it. You'll learn what to apply, when to apply it, and why so many seniors are waking up with less stiffness, more ease, and a sense of hope they haven't felt in years. If that sounded familiar, if you've ever gripped the edge of your bed before standing or hesitated at the stairs just to protect your knees, please hear me clearly. This isn't your fault, and you're not alone. So many seniors silently carry this pain, believing there's no other option but to manage it. But the truth is, your body is still capable of healing, especially when we support it in the right way at the right time. That's what this channel is all about, giving you calm, practical, science-backed ways to feel better without the confusion, hype, or pressure. If that's the kind of guidance you've been looking for, I invite you to subscribe right now. Because your health deserves more than guesswork. It deserves clarity. And before we continue, I'd love to hear from you. What's the most frustrating part about your knee pain? Is it mornings, stairs, or just not being able to move like you used to? Share your experience in the comments. It helps others feel seen and reminds us all that healing often begins in community. Now, let's take that first step together. Let's start with the question many people never think to ask. Why do your knees hurt more at night or first thing in the morning, instead of during the day when you're using them most? It seems backwards, doesn't it? You'd expect your knees to scream during a long walk or after climbing stairs, but oddly, it's those quiet, still moments when the pain seems to rise to the surface. And there's a reason for that. As we age, the structures inside our knees, like cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and especially the synovial fluid that cushions everything, start to wear down or dry out. That fluid is like the oil in an engine, and without enough of it, the moving parts begin to grind. During the day, movement helps keep that fluid circulating. But when you stop moving, when you're sitting in your recliner, lying in bed, or waking up after hours of stillness, that circulation slows. Inflammation builds. The joint stiffens, and you feel it. But it's not just the lack of movement. Here's another thing most people don't realize. Your body has its own internal pain clock. At night, certain inflammatory compounds, called cytokines, tend to rise. This is partly due to circadian rhythms, and partly due to how the immune system functions during rest. In simple terms, your body uses the nighttime to repair, but in doing so, inflammation can temporarily spike, especially in joints already weakened by arthritis, injury, or aging. Now imagine trying to fall asleep or stay asleep when that inflammation is quietly flaring up in the background. Or waking up stiff because your knees have spent 8 hours in one position, swelling just a little more with each hour. That's why the timing of your pain isn't random. It's your body signaling that something deeper is going on. And it's why a nighttime remedy makes so much sense. Because if we can support the body's natural repair process at night, before the pain wakes you up, before the inflammation builds up, we have a chance to change the outcome. Imagine this. You've just brushed your teeth, you're getting ready for bed, and instead of dreading the morning stiffness, you take a few minutes to apply something healing. Maybe it's a warm castor oil pack placed gently over your knees. Maybe it's a few spritzes of magnesium oil rubbed in with slow, circular motions. You lie down, not just hoping it will help, but knowing that these compounds are going to work with your body as you sleep. It's simple, it's safe, and it's rooted in real biological processes, not just wishful thinking. Castor oil, for example, contains ricinoleic acid, a rare fatty acid that's been shown in studies to reduce inflammation and penetrate deeply through the skin barrier. Unlike creams that sit on the surface, castor oil absorbs slowly, delivering relief directly to the tissues that need it most, especially when heat or a wrap is used to help it along. Magnesium oil works in a different but equally powerful way. Many people over 60 are deficient in magnesium, a mineral critical for muscle relaxation, nerve health, and even sleep quality. Applying it directly to the skin, especially over tight, sore knees, can bypass the digestive system and send that magnesium straight into the bloodstream. This is called transdermal absorption, and it's been a game changer for many who can't tolerate oral supplements. The beauty of these remedies is that they don't just cover up symptoms. They work with your biology, offering your joints the ingredients they need to calm inflammation and support healing, right at the time your body is most ready to receive it. And once you understand that, the next question becomes obvious. Which one is right for you? And how do you do it safely and effectively? Let's break it down. Let's start with one of the most powerful and time-tested natural remedies for joint pain, the castor oil pack. If you've never used one before, don't worry. It's incredibly simple. But don't let that simplicity fool you. What happens beneath the surface is what makes this remedy so extraordinary, especially for aging knees. At the heart of castor oil's power is a compound called ricinoleic acid, which makes up nearly 90% of the oil's fatty acid content. Unlike most topical oils that simply moisturize, ricinoleic acid is uniquely bioactive. It penetrates deep into the tissues, crossing the skin barrier to deliver anti-inflammatory, analgesic, pain-relieving, and lymph-stimulating effects. So what does that mean for your knees? It means that when you apply castor oil directly over sore, inflamed joints, especially when combined with gentle heat, you're delivering a steady, healing message right where your body needs it most. The oil doesn't just sit on the skin. It moves inward, soothing the irritated tissues, improving circulation, and helping the lymphatic system flush out waste products that may be contributing to swelling and stiffness. Now let's walk through exactly how to make a castor oil pack and why bedtime is the perfect time to use it. Step 1. You'll need a few basic supplies: high-quality, cold-pressed castor oil, a piece of soft flannel or cotton cloth, some plastic wrap to prevent mess, and a heating pad or hot water bottle. Step 2. Soak the cloth in castor oil until it's thoroughly saturated, but not dripping. Then place it over your knee. Cover that with plastic wrap. Then place a heating pad on top. Lie back, relax, and let the warmth help the oil sink in for 30 to 45 minutes. That's it. But here's where the magic happens. As you sleep, your body naturally shifts into parasympathetic mode, your rest and repair state. This is when tissue regeneration is most active. So when you apply a castor oil pack before bed, you're aligning with that natural rhythm. You're not forcing your body to heal. You're helping it do what it's already trying to do. Let me paint the picture. Imagine it's 9 p.m. You've just turned off the television. You've done your nightly routine. And now, you take a few quiet moments to treat your knees. Not with harsh chemicals or another pill, but with something gentle, soothing, and rooted in nature. You feel the warmth of the pack, the quiet stillness of your body preparing to rest. And for once, instead of fearing the next morning, you actually feel hopeful because you're doing something that feels nurturing, something that makes sense. And for many seniors who've tried this, the results are remarkable. Waking up with less stiffness, more mobility, and a sense of empowerment that's been missing for years. Now, let's be clear, this isn't a miracle cure. You may not be leaping out of bed on day one, but for many, the shift is noticeable even after the first few nights. Less of that deep ache, easier movement when getting out of bed, and most importantly, a growing confidence that you have tools that work. And here's the best part. There are almost no side effects. Castor oil is extremely gentle, and unless you have a rare allergy, it's safe for daily or near daily use. Plus, it can be used alongside your current treatments, not in place of them. It's not an either-or. It's a yes and. Still, castor oil isn't the only natural remedy worth your attention. Now let's shift to another powerful ally in your fight against knee pain: magnesium, a mineral that most people don't realize they're lacking until the symptoms start to pile up. We often think of magnesium as something we get from food or supplements. But did you know it can also be applied directly to your skin? And when it is, it can soothe aching joints, relax stiff muscles, and help you sleep deeper than you have in years. This is where magnesium oil spray comes in. It's not really an oil. It just feels slightly slick because of the mineral content. But don't let the texture distract you. What it does is far more important. Let's start with the basics. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biological processes in the body. It helps regulate nerve signals, control muscle contractions, and reduce inflammation. It also plays a critical role in managing pain sensitivity, especially in older adults. Here's the problem. As we age, our bodies naturally absorb less magnesium from food. On top of that, stress, medications, and chronic conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure can quietly deplete our magnesium stores. And the symptoms? They often show up in subtle, frustrating ways. Cramps in your legs or feet at night, a constant feeling of tightness or tension in your muscles, poor sleep or frequent nighttime awakenings, sensitivity to touch or pressure in joints and soft tissues. Sound familiar? When magnesium levels drop, your muscles can't fully relax. Your nervous system becomes more reactive, and any existing joint pain, especially in your knees, can feel amplified. It's like your body is stuck in a low-grade alarm state. But here's the good news. Magnesium can be absorbed transdermally through the skin, bypassing your digestive system altogether. That means if oral supplements upset your stomach or interact with medications, magnesium oil spray offers a safe, effective alternative. Here's how to use it. Right before bed, take 5 to 10 sprays of magnesium oil and gently massage it into the skin around your knees, front, sides, and even the back if you can reach. Use slow, circular motions. You might feel a slight tingling at first. That's normal, especially if your magnesium levels are low. This usually fades with regular use. Then, just let it absorb. You don't need to rinse it off unless it feels too sticky. Some people follow with a warm compress or wrap to enhance the absorption, but it works even on its own. Now imagine doing this simple ritual at night. You're not taking another pill. You're not icing your knees until they're numb. You're feeding your body a nutrient it craves right through the skin, right when your system is winding down and preparing for rest. Many seniors who try this notice an almost immediate difference. Less tightness, fewer spasms, better sleep, and that glorious feeling of swinging your legs over the side of the bed in the morning and standing up without a groan. And don't forget, better sleep on its own is healing. When you sleep well, your body produces more human growth hormone, which helps repair tissues. Your inflammation markers drop. Your pain threshold improves. In short, magnesium doesn't just help your knees. It helps your whole system calm down and repair. By now, you might be wondering, so which remedy should I try first? Castor oil and magnesium oil both offer impressive benefits, but they work a little differently. And depending on what your knees are trying to tell you, one may be a better starting point, or you might find that using them together creates the best results. Let's take a closer look at how to decide. If your knee pain feels deep, achy, and tied to inflammation, especially the kind that swells and throbs after activity or during cold weather, then castor oil may be your best bet. It's deeply soothing, especially when paired with warmth, and it works by penetrating the tissues to reduce inflammation where it starts. Seniors who describe their knees as always sore, or who have a diagnosis of osteoarthritis, often find castor oil packs bring noticeable comfort after just a few nights. There's something about the way it seeps into the joint that seems to take the edge off that constant, nagging discomfort. On the other hand, if your pain feels more muscular, tight, cramping, or tied to restlessness at night, then magnesium oil might be the smarter first step. It tends to work more quickly, especially if you're magnesium deficient, and can help relieve that sensation of stiffness that makes it hard to fall asleep or get comfortable in bed. Some people feel almost instant relaxation when they rub it in, especially after a long day on their feet. But what about those who feel a mix of both? The good news is, these remedies don't conflict with each other. In fact, they can be used together in a complementary routine that supports both the muscles and the joints. For example, you might apply magnesium oil first, gently massaging it into the skin to calm tension and support nerve function. After letting it absorb for 10 to 15 minutes, you can follow with a warm castor oil pack, allowing its anti-inflammatory properties to soak in more deeply while you rest. Some seniors find it helpful to alternate nights, using magnesium oil one evening and castor oil the next, while others create a little nightly ritual where they take 5 extra minutes to care for their knees with both. What matters most is listening to your body. Pay attention to how you feel the next morning. Do your knees feel looser? Are you able to walk more confidently? Does getting out of bed feel more fluid and less like a battle? And don't worry if it takes a few days to notice results. Remember, your joints didn't get this way overnight. What you're doing now is sending a different message, one of healing, support, and care. That message takes time to settle in. But every night you give your knees this attention, you're reinforcing the idea that they are not being ignored anymore. That alone can create a powerful mental and physical shift. Also, don't underestimate the emotional power of a nighttime routine. There's something deeply healing about closing the day with a small act of self-care. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be complicated. But it does have to be consistent. And with consistency comes momentum. And with momentum, change. Let's step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Why does applying these remedies before bed make such a difference? Why not in the morning, or after lunch, or sometime during the day? The answer lies in how your body heals, and the powerful role that sleep plays in recovery. You see, while you're sleeping, your body isn't just resting. It's repairing. Beneath the surface, a quiet symphony of biological activity unfolds each night. Inflammatory signals calm down, tissues regenerate, and hormones that support healing and cell growth begin to rise. One of the most important of these is called human growth hormone, or HGH. It's produced in the brain while you sleep and plays a key role in rebuilding muscle, bone, and connective tissue, all of which support healthy knees. That's why a good night's sleep can make you feel almost reborn in the morning. But it also explains why poor sleep, especially the kind disrupted by pain, can leave your body stuck in a cycle of inflammation and fatigue. When you don't sleep well, the healing doesn't happen the way it should. Your joints don't get the recovery time they need, and the pain tends to snowball day after day. This is why your timing matters so much. When you apply castor oil or magnesium oil before bed, you're not just treating the symptom, you're working with your body's natural healing rhythm. You're giving those nutrients and compounds the quiet hours they need to settle in, circulate, and do their work. No distractions, no walking around, no interruptions. And the warmth of the castor oil pack or the calming effect of magnesium helps encourage your body into that deeply restful, parasympathetic state, the one that says, "You're safe now. You can relax. Let's begin the repair." Now think about how different that is from most traditional treatments. Pain pills might numb the sensation, but they don't support healing. Topical creams often wear off in an hour or two. Injections may reduce inflammation temporarily, but do nothing to improve the joint's long-term function. What you're doing with this nighttime routine is something far more gentle and lasting. You're nourishing the tissue, you're calming the nervous system, and you're sending your body a message it hasn't heard in a while. You're cared for. It's easy to underestimate the power of rhythm and routine, but your body craves both. When you apply the same treatment at the same time each evening, you begin to train your body. Your muscles start to anticipate relaxation. Your nervous system begins to associate that familiar sensation, the warmth, the scent, the stillness, with safety and comfort. Over time, that repetition can lead to deeper sleep, improved joint function, and a real reduction in pain. And perhaps just as important, it gives you a sense of control, a feeling that you're not just reacting to pain, you're actively participating in your healing. For many seniors, that shift in mindset is just as powerful as any physical change. So the next time you're rubbing your knees and wondering if this simple little remedy can really make a difference, remember this. You're not just treating the symptom. You're aligning with your body's deepest instincts. You're meeting it where it heals best, at night, in rest, in rhythm. And that is where real transformation begins. So here we are, standing at the intersection of simple action and profound change. What started as a nightly ache, a bit of stiffness getting out of bed, or the quiet resignation that this is just part of aging, now becomes something entirely different. Because now, you don't just have a pain, you have a plan, a way forward, a set of tools that are gentle, natural, and grounded in real science. Whether you choose to begin with castor oil or magnesium, or a thoughtful combination of both, you are reclaiming something that many people your age have been told to surrender: your sense of agency. You're not waiting around for someone else to fix you. You're not masking pain with pills or pushing through discomfort with gritted teeth. You're stepping into the role of caretaker for your own body, with wisdom, patience, and grace. Think about what this means on a deeper level. This isn't just about knee pain. It's about every area of your life that pain has tried to shrink. Every walk you avoided, every grandchild you didn't lift, every social event you skipped, because the thought of standing too long was just too much. Those choices add up. That avoidance becomes a kind of invisible wall. But now, you've started to chip away at that wall. And with every evening you take those few moments to apply something healing, you're sending a quiet, powerful message to your knees, your nervous system, and even your spirit. I am still here. I still matter. And I am worth taking care of. Yes, the science supports this routine. Yes, it works with your biology. But more than that, it restores dignity. It returns to you a small but sacred moment of self-respect. And sometimes, that's what we need most. Not just relief, but the reminder that we're still in this. Still capable. Still worthy of comfort. So as you move forward from this video, I invite you to do something powerful tonight. Not dramatic, not expensive, just 5 or 10 quiet minutes before bed. A warm cloth, a gentle oil, and a willingness to believe that change is possible, even now. Because it is. And it starts with you. If this message spoke to you, if even a small part of you is thinking, I'm going to try this tonight, then let me encourage you to take that next step. Give your knees the attention they deserve, and then come back and let us know how it felt. Your story could be the encouragement someone else needs to begin their healing, too. If you found this helpful, go ahead and click the like button. It tells YouTube that this kind of content matters. And more importantly, it tells me that you're part of this growing community of people who believe in practical, natural, science-backed solutions. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. This channel exists to support you, your health, your mobility, your independence, and I'd be honored to walk that journey with you. Until next time, take care of those knees. Sleep well tonight. And remember, you're stronger than you think, and you're never alone.